At 7 PM we hopped on our very first coach of our East Coast trip, travelling with the bus company Greyhound. This was also our first ever overnight coach, 13 hours to Byron Bay. 13 hours. Let's just say it was definitely a shock to the system, especially with me still feeling ill from our week in Sydney. This was also the first time we met our tour group, as we hadn't had a chance to previously. We also ended up bonding with the two girls sat in front of us because the chair in front of me was broken, so every time she'd sit back it would roll into my space, but the girls were absolutely lovely, and turns out they were doing the 25-day version of the tour. After what felt like a very long night and very broken sleep, we finally arrived in Byron Bay, where we would be staying for 6 nights. We couldn't check into our hostel room until 2 PM, so spent the day wandering around the town, checking out the main beach for the first time and all the nearby shops. That evening we sat on the rooftop of the hostel, getting to know everyone more on our tour, and enjoyed the free drink vouchers kindly given to us by the hostel. Morning guys. If I sound like I've got something in my mouth, it's because I'm currently sucking on a lozenge to try and resuscitate my throat. Hopefully you guys can hear I'm still not like super amazing, but heading off to do some dolphin kayaking, which we have been super excited about doing. We may even get the chance to see some turtles today, and we may even have the opportunity to swim with them, which I didn't even realise we could do. It's scorching today. I'm going to try my best not to get burnt. Yesterday was a bit of a rookie error. My shoulders and my knees got it, and I feel like I currently look like a mixed match of like pasty white skin and like burnt / tan bits. So yeah, that's fun. Our 3-hour dolphin kayaking session was with Go Sea Kayaking, and our instructor for the day was this lovely guy called Luke. If you're ever in Byron Bay and want to dolphin kayak, these are the people to do it with.
Start the tour by saying Jingiwala. Does anyone know what that means? Jingiwala, it is our traditional rock. So where we are, Byron Bay, it's a very rich area for Indigenous heritage. Where we stand, we're part of the Ruckwell tribe of the Bundjalung Nation. Now those two words, the Ruckwell, means first sun. So part of the first sun tribe of the Bundjalung, which means butterfly nation. Jingiwala, everyone! Jingiwala!
I feel so incredibly lucky to say that we saw 8 dolphins in the distance, including a baby one. Luke, our instructor, said the sea surrounding Byron Bay was home to a variety of marine life, including manta rays, stingrays, bottlenose dolphins, green turtles, jellyfish,
and there's a little jellyfish here without a sting too.
Lots of fish, and sometimes sharks too. Koalas and kookaburras can also be found in the hilly areas. Sadly no kangaroos though. With it being Australia's summer and also stinger season, you can only go so far up the east coast before you can't swim in the ocean. Everything below Rockhampton is okay, I think, so thankfully we were good to swim in Byron Bay.
And if anyone's looking for a romantic afternoon, just coming up here, Little Waddigos Beach, it's the most easterly beach in Australia, and it actually faces back to the west, so you can go up there, watch the sunrise and set over the ocean, the same spot on the east coast of Australia. Make some champagne and strawberries.
We then spent the rest of the time chilling, enjoying the sun and the clear water. I honestly couldn't get over how blue it was. Some of our tour group also went for a swim, but Dan and I just chilled in the kayak. Then it was finally time to start heading back to the shore. One of the hardest parts of kayaking is getting over the waves close to the beach. The further you go out, the waves get calmer. So when you're entering and exiting the shallow area, you have to keep paddling to get over the waves, or else you'll topple in the water. Sadly, we didn't get this next part caught on camera, but when it was our turn to kayak back to the beach, out of nowhere, this giant wave comes beneath us and starts carrying our kayak towards the beach. Honestly, when I say it felt like we were on a speedboat, I'm not kidding. We actually ended up hurtling past people who'd gone before us. I think the kayak must have turned sideways at some point, because the next thing you know, we were suddenly under the water swallowing half of the ocean and the kayak was on top of us. Literally the craziest experience ever. We spent the rest of the day after kayaking doing a big food shop and settling into our new hostel. This was the first of many cheese toasties we ended up making on our 6-week trip. Absolute banger.
I'm going to document this moment.
Yeah, I do agree.
You look like you're trying to summon a demon.
You do.
Trying to find a mosquito.
You look so weird right now. It looks like you're trying to like summon a spirit.
There! Did anyone just see that?
No, you were making it up.
I'm not.
You were telling lies, Isabella.
You generally sound like you're contacting the spirit, right? We've made
I
contact.
genuinely just saw the mosquito. I don't know how none of you just saw that.
Did you see that? What was that? What's your name?
No, this freaks me out.
You just hear buzz.
I think you're making it up.
No, I swear to you, I've seen a mosquito.
After failing to find the mosquito, we woke up for a 4 a.m. hike to Byron Bay's famous lighthouse. This is also the most easterly point of mainland Australia, which meant where we stood, we were as far east on mainland as you could possibly go before you hit New Zealand and eventually the coast of South America.
I feel like I look so red.
This also meant we were technically the very first people in the whole of Australia to watch the sunrise that day. Speaking of which, prepare yourself for the shakiest time lapse of a sunrise you'll actually ever see. After soaking in the incredible sunrise and views, we did the coastal walk back to town, passing Watergoes Beach, and stumbled across this little guy enjoying the morning sun. I'd love to be able to tell you that after our 4 a.m. hike, we carried on our morning being super productive, but no. I ended up going back to bed for a big nap.
Look at this.
Stop! Look.
The sunburn. What you need to do is lie down on a beach so then all of this can get tanned and then you can blend this in. Otherwise, you're going to have like a barcode on your head. It's been a few hours since I last updated the vlog. It's currently, I want to say like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Yeah, nearly 2 o'clock. I actually felt quite good and like awake after the 4 a.m. hike and was thinking like, oh, we'll probably stay up. As soon as we got back in the room and sat down on the bed, I just felt absolutely floored. And I have a feeling today is going to be a very slow, lazy Sunday, which is fine because technically Sunday is a day of rest. Am I right? My voice is still recovering and I do think it is the aircon, the dreaded aircon, which I didn't think I would ever be saying while in sunny, hot Australia. But I think the aircon is starting to become my arch nemesis a little bit. I keep waking up every day after having the aircon on all night and my throat, it's just not okay. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting as we go further up the east coast and have more aircon on because it's going to get even more hot and even more humid. Let's pray that my voice actually survives this trip. I'm practically living on these at the moment. These are what the doctor prescribed me and they are literally a lifesaver. But since I've got the hotel room, it's not the hotel room, I thought this would be a good opportunity to like catch up and chat about how I'm feeling and the tour and everything because I've realised I haven't had a chance to really do that yet. Even though Byron Bay is very much like a chill surfer, slow down vibe, the last few days have been a little bit crazy and now that we're on the 3rd day, I feel like we've managed to settle in a lot better and kind of get into a bit of like a routine. Since we didn't have a chance to meet our tour group in Sydney because we were ill, I really wanted to spend these first few days in Byron getting to know my tour group a lot better. So again, that's why I'm only updating you now. I realised I haven't actually spoken about the room that I'm in. Basically, Dan and I are doing like a half and half. So that means we alternate between like private rooms and sharing in like bunk beds, just so we have that you know, split between downtime, recharging our social battery, you know, privacy, but then we're also making sure we're still getting to socialise and mix with people, which I'm so glad we've done, because now that we've done a few days of this tour, it's become clear to me that I think if we'd done private rooms for the entire thing, we'd have definitely been a lot more like cut off and isolated from the tour group. We're sharing with 4 other girls, 2 that are on my tour, and then the 2 that I mentioned that are doing the 25-day version. We're really happy with our dorm. It's literally the loveliest bunch of girls. While I'm sat here, I might actually show you guys a quick tour, and when I say quick, very quick, because our room is an absolute state right now. We've just got clothes everywhere, and actually a lot of sand everywhere, because as we've quickly realised while we've been in Byron Bay, sand just gets everywhere. Like, you can't escape sand while you're here, and I have a feeling that's going to be the case. Like, we could practically have our own beach in this room. There's that much sand on the floor. I mean, look at that. Oh my god. This is what my bed looks like. It's a bit chaotic. We've hung my beach towel that I bought yesterday, and then my coat. Over here, I've got this like whamming big light that if I turn on, I'm probably gonna blind Dan. So this is our front door, which obviously comes with this lovely big mirror. This is what you see when you come in. We've got some hooks on the side. And then this is what the room looks like. A bit chaotic, as you'd expect in a shared hostel room. But yeah, we've got a bunk bed here, a bunk bed here, and then a bunk bed here, and then a lovely washing line, and our aircon, of course. My arch nemesis. This is mine and Dan's bunk bed. Dan's at the top because I don't trust myself falling out of said bunk bed, so I've got the bottom. This is our view outside. I think we're on one of the like main streets of Brisbane. Brisbane? What am I about Brisbane? Byron Bay. It's quite a small town actually, so that's why you'll see a lot of cars driving past. Obviously not right now. I love how at the moment I say that there's like no traffic, but we've always got things parked up. Right, so since it's 2 o'clock and we still haven't technically had lunch yet, we're gonna head out now and grab a bite to eat. Also, I'm so sorry if my hair looks like an absolute state in this clip, or any clip for that matter in the foreseeable future. I don't think my hair is vibing very well with the hard water they have here in Australia. Every single time I wash it, it just doesn't look like it's been washed, and I just feel like it looks so straggly. Also featuring my very burnt scalp. Ooh.
They don't look that good, these ones.
No, I really like them.
But I made all of these. I need to cut the ends off, and the anklet. Yeah?
Oh my god.
And it was only £12.
Oh my god.
I know.
We stand.
We spent the afternoon sorting tickets for Warner Brothers Movie World and Australia Zoo in Brisbane, where we'd be that following weekend. One thing I should tell you about our time in Australia, we ended up eating a crazy amount of pizza. Like, honestly, I can't even believe how much we had, to the point that I decided to tier rank every pizza we ate over the entire 6 weeks. So, every time you see a pizza in these vlogs, you bet we will be ranking it. At 6 PM, our tour group ended up taking part in Christmas bingo, which was being thrown by the hostel.
We've actually got it going on. Just having a look, just checking. We're so close, we're so close.
Get ready.
No.
Yeah. Traitor. He's gonna have to
I'm just drawing on the sheet.
Traitor.
I'm just drawing on the sheet.
I'm gonna change the door key.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're not allowed to sneak in the room tonight.
No.
That's your punishment.
I'm sorry. That's a koala right? Or it's Mickey Mouse.
Unfortunately, it wasn't written in the stars that night for us to win, but we had such a lovely time nonetheless. Everyone was chilling, laughing, singing Christmas songs.
And the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
Oh, you can do that.
Quick thing.
We started Monday morning off with a 3-hour surf lesson at Talos Beach. This was in fact Dan and I's first ever surf lesson. This was being ran by 2 instructors called Gaz and Zane. Turns out Gaz's grandma was the first woman to surf in Australia in 1915. A Hawaiian guy who had come over to teach Australians how to swim picked 3 random people from the crowd, and his grandma was one of them. Zane's dad is also a 6-time world surfing champion with 1 leg, and Zane had been surfing pretty much his entire life, so we knew we were in good hands. Again, if you're ever in Byron Bay, I really recommend learning to surf from these guys.
Hey guys, so I'm back in the hostel room right now. I'm just gonna go have a quick shower and get all the sand off me from the surfing lesson that finished about an hour ago. The surfing lesson actually went really well. I feel like I woke up this morning feeling kinda low-key nervous, like probably high-key nervous. Like I was kinda dreading it because I've never done surfing before and I'm not the most coordinated. I can dance fine, but I feel like any other sport I'm not the greatest at. So this was feeling a little bit daunting, but it was so good. Like we felt like we were being taught by the pros. Like they even said today they're going to teach us how to properly surf, and they really want us to be able to come away after just having one lesson and know exactly how to surf. Despite getting quite good on sand when we were practicing it, I wasn't unfortunately able to actually stand up once we got in the water, which was a shame because I'm such a perfectionist. So even though I was a little bit nervous, after I tried it 2 times, I just kept wanting to get back on the board and keep practicing, because you know when you're trying something for the first time you just really want to get good at it. I can definitely see why people love to surf here. Even though it was windy, today's been quite a hot day, hence the growing sunburn collection I've got. But I think because of the weather today, the waves after a bit started getting like really big and we were starting to get like washed out, and that was quite scary because there was a moment where we had about 3 like giant, and I'm talking about like giant, really big waves crash into us. Not only are you being, you know, whacked by the wave, you've also then got to think about other people's boards and other people's bodies whacking into you. And then also because you're tied to the surfboard, when the surfboard goes like west, you go with it, like your leg just gets yanked. I think that was the only bit where I started to kind of lose my confidence a bit, which was a shame because I did love it like overall. I think it really surprised me. I love you, they're so loud. Squeak, 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 squeak. It's fine. That was just my roommate Izzy coming in from a shower, which reminds me, I probably should go shower myself because, like I said, I am absolutely covered in sand. So we're gonna go do that and then probably go back again with the squeaks. It's so funny.
Dan and I decided to grab a smoothie and spend the afternoon mooching around all the amazing Australian clothes shops, such as Cotton On and Gander, which is where I stumbled across the most perfect pair of beach shorts ever. Honestly guys, when I say they were just sat there, last pair in my size and fitting perfectly, I think the universe was giving me a sign.
Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It's currently 7:30 and Dan and I are heading down to the beach because, like I mentioned I think yesterday, oh god that is very bright, so I'm like whoa. Because of the weather conditions when we were surfing, we had to unfortunately cut the session short because the waves were just getting too crazy. So Gaz has kindly rescheduled the rest of our lesson today. So myself and a few of the others of our tour group are going to be doing our second half of the surf lesson today. I'm a bit more excited than I was yesterday. I was kind of breaking it because I've never done it before. Like, I say I think I've got the hang of it, but I don't have the hang of it. But I really just want to master it.
There she is. Come on. Come on, G.
Dan decided to sit out of this lesson as he was feeling a bit under the weather, so I was so grateful he got all of these shots of me. Here I'm waiting for a wave with Zane, our instructor. As I said previously, I really wanted to master surfing, especially since I struggle with dyspraxia in my daily life, so learning a new sport doesn't always come naturally to me, and let's just say that was also the case with surfing. Watching it back, I'm so proud I kept getting back on that board and trying despite not getting it first time round. And here at the end of these 2 clips, you can see me start to stand. Here is actually one of the moments I land directly onto the sand, right on my tailbone, which I think when combined with the early start, tiredness, the strenuous activity, and wanting to stand so badly on the board, I'll be honest, I did have a little cry at the end of the session. But despite that, I had high spirits for the majority of the session and absolutely loved learning to surf. Like, being able to say that I'd surfed on the largest ocean in the world is pretty awesome. After a bit, several members of the group started to get the hang of it, and here is Gaz in the background of this next clip cheering them on.
Come on, go girl, go, go, yes, rock and roll girl, wow! Hey.
Following Christmas Eve, we headed off to the iconic piano bar at the Northern Hotel, famous for their dueling piano nights. It's such a unique live music experience where two piano players face each other and take turns singing. Everyone stands around the piano singing along, and you can even request songs.
Sing about a holiday, a happy holiday. Sing about a holiday.
Looks gross.
Bon appetit. Merry Crisis.
Scraping the remnants of your massacre.
At least I tried, Dan. Where were you? Where were you?
I was stood next to you, saying this is a bad idea.
Judging me. At least I tried. Clearly, Year 9 food tech has not rubbed off on me.
After breakfast, we spent Christmas morning on the beach. A sentence I still can't believe I'm saying. This was the first time celebrating Christmas Day in a hot country, which is definitely a weird experience. It was also our first time celebrating without our families, which was tough, so later we all had Christmas dinner together as a tour group. I wish I could say I ate a roast dinner, but Dan and I ate cheese toasties.
Right, present time. Woo! Super excited. We're opening at the same time.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Beach.
Oh my god. This is so neat. Oh my god. Oh, I love it.
Oh, that looks nothing like me. Who the fuck is that?
Why are you so ripped?
Why have I got such a beard?
Look at the muscles on that. At least you got one tattoo.
Me.
You're so pale, but you blend it with your shirt. Look at the
You
stubble.
don't have to keep showing it off, that's fine.
Look at mine.
That doesn't even look like you.
Hang on, I'll put it on my face.
Yeah, no, that's odd.
Oh, it actually says something on the
This is
bottom.
Australia 2024/5.
Wait. Let me see if I can get it on camera.
Those are not your feet either. There's some mad shins and that. Calf muscles.
Which I don't have.
That biscuit is delicious. Oh my days.
Watch me not be able to pop this now.
Ooh!
Merry Christmas.
Like a pro.
It's not my first rodeo.
I'd probably hit a bird or something.
As a group, we decided to spend our Christmas evening sat next to the beach, playing games and watching the sunset. Pretty sure the entire of Byron Bay were also there too. I think they even had a silent disco going on at one point.
Oh, we have it in Pennsylvania. It's an Adidas shoe special.
Hey!
Good play.
night was such a cool memory and one I will always look back on with such fondness. Everyone laughing and having a good time. Literally the perfect last evening in Byron Bay. On our final morning, I had a few errands I needed to tick off before our morning coach, including sending off our first set of postcards to our families back in the UK. Happy holidays! You too! As I still had some time to kill, I quickly called my mom since it was still Christmas Day over in the UK. Before we knew it, we were checking out of the surf house, which by far was one of the best hostels we stayed in. Also, out of all the places we visited up the East Coast and across Australia, Byron Bay was definitely one of my favourites, and hopefully this vlog shows a glimpse of why. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll pick you up in our next location, Surfers Paradise.